commenting on the LA Dodgers as the Dodgers and the Cubs are underway right now in our backyard here as we're coming to you live from the Twin Peaks in Glendale. Joining us from the ballpark, Camelback Ranch, Bob Nightengale, USA Today. Are you happy to finally get to actually watch some baseball, Bob, since you've been talking about it for the last 6 months?
Yeah, so the first challenge by the Cubs pitcher, Poteet. It's a little history for the first automatic strike zone, and he challenged and won.
So what do you think? How that's going to fly? I know there's 60% of the Cactus League and Grapefruit League. They're going to feature this. Do you think this is something that could stick?
I do. I think MLB wants it to stick. Never know. I mean, this is pretty much for gambling. Now with automatic strike zone, you're able to gamble on every single pitch. So it's not about the umpires. It's really about gambling and getting more money.
So who can initiate the challenge? Is it just the guys on the field, the baseball? I'm sure. Excuse me, the batter, the catcher, the pitcher. The manager can't.
Right. Yeah, just the first three.
Okay.
Batter, catcher, pitcher, and that's it. And that that's why the pitcher did it today with Poteet with the Cubs. But yeah, I think he averaged about 3.9 challenges a game at AAA last year. Okay,
and how many do you get per team? Challenges.
You get two.
Okay.
I might be 3 this spring.
Okay,
but it's unlimited if you're right. So as long as it's a little bit like baseball against a replay, as long as you're right and keep challenge all day long.
So Bob, are they letting the umpire know in their ear? I know they got on the scoreboard, but I'm not seeing a guy go ball or strike behind the play as we watch here at Twin Peaks. So is it coming down to ball or strike in their ear so they know?
Yeah, they know exactly. So they have he has a headphone on, so he knows exactly what the pitch is.
I'm anxious to see, Bob, when there's technical difficulties.
Yeah, exactly.
And a skipper's going to be like, well, hey, didn't work that half inning because it was out. There's a storm. We had a monsoon season in Phoenix. I hope that doesn't happen.
I know. Keep waiting for that. It's got to happen, right?
Yeah.
Internet goes down all the time.
Hey, Bob, have you talked to any of the umpires? Do they feel like left out because they can't even signal anymore for a strike call?
They don't mind it in the sense where, going back to gambling, it's like, okay, say if you miss a call in the late innings, people can say, oh, man, was he on the take? Is he gambling on this? That way it's completely out of their hands. So if there's a blown call, they're not blamed for it.
So, Bob, as you heard Bob Manfred talking about, is it fair that the Dodgers are spending another, $400 million a year per se? Who is the complainer? Is it other owners? Are the emails coming from fans? And since there's no legitimate rules and regulations per se, don't they have every right?
Yeah, I mean, every owner can spend what they want. There's no salary cap.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like back in the day when the Yankees are big complaining about George Steinbrenner, that sort of thing. Same thing now, and we'll see. If the Dodgers win, 5 World Series in a row, maybe people have a valid complaint. But it's a little early to say that they're going to have that much bigger advantage than everybody else. Just in baseball with the playoffs. I mean, as great as Atlanta was all those years, they just won a World Series during that time.
Speaking of the Dodgers, did they reload this year? They took care of their guys, bringing a guy like Kiki Hernandez back and some of the other young guys, and bringing a guy like you look at Ohtani going to be pitching and Sasaki coming in. I mean, did they reload? They're ready to go for another title?
Yeah, they're a better team than last year. I mean, last year, that's when they're vulnerable. I mean, the Padres should have been in the first round. They had them, 2 games to 1. Dodgers used a bullpen game. Padres at home, let it get through. I think if the Diamondbacks had made the playoffs, they would have had a chance to knock them off. But now, they have 8 or 9 starters, so it's a whole different animal. I mean, they're better than a year ago.
Bob Nightingale's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Take me then to the Diamondbacks. You just referenced them. So are they in the hunt along with the Padres to finish second, at least, in that division?
Yeah, most definitely. I would think they'd be favored to finish second. I think on paper, they're better than the Padres are, particularly adding Corbin Burns. And the thing about postseason, if you get the right pitching matchups, you can knock off anybody. So if you're the Diamondbacks, you certainly like the fact you can go, Corbin, Corbin Burns, Galvin, Kelly, and Rodriguez and Bott, Montgomery, you can win a short series.
Is that the best rotation in baseball, Bob? At
I
least
don't know,
on paper.
Philadelphia Phillies are very strong too. It's really right up there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make the argument top 3 or 4 for sure.
How much of the Corbin Burns signings was they wanted to stay here in the Valley? I know his wife played a big part in that, the family. So did they get maybe a hometown discount without him being on the team?
Yeah, big time hometown discount. He would have made more money easily if he had stayed back east, Toronto, Baltimore, maybe even Boston. But by living here and stuff and having 2 twin girls, he wanted to stay put. So yeah, that's a smart move by the Diamondbacks. He'll not only get the best free agent pitcher out there, but it gives them protection for Zach Gallen, who's a free agent in the year, who's from the East. So I think it's probably unrealistic to think that they're going to lock. You're probably not going to lock up 2 pitchers over $200 million apiece.
Bob, we watched Corbin Burns from a distance. For those that you've watched him intimately over the last several years, what is it about his game or his pitching that a lot of Diamondbacks will notice or be impressed with?
3.5 minutes.
Just a steady guy, a real horse. Kind of reminds you of of what Schilling and Johnson did back in the days, where you just go deep in the games. Where you're going, 6, 7, 8 innings, sometimes 9. Giving you 200 innings, but always giving your team a chance to win. He's not one of those guys who are up and down. It's been top 5 or top 6 in the Cy Young race now for about 5 years. So just a consistent winner.
Appointment baseball, would you say? Like a Johnson or a Schilling, where you got to watch because they're pitching every 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, not like a Johnson where you might see 20 strikeouts or something like that. Yeah, that kind of thing. But just a workhorse. More like a Garrett Cole type guy.
Got it.
That can shut you down without being having huge gaudy numbers.
Last one, Bob, and we appreciate you taking time, especially on game day in the press box. Myself, as a former PR guy in baseball, I'm anxious to know what the pregame food was there at Camelback Ranch. What are they taking? How are they taking care of you guys?
I wish I could tell you, but there's so many people here in the concession stand for so long. I couldn't even get near a hot dog or hamburger. So yeah, I have no idea. There's still a huge line. I'm talking about 60, 70 people in every concession line.
Oh,
so I won't have anything to eat today.
Oh, Bob, thank you so much, man. Well, we'll buy you lunch if you want to come over to Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
so
we're
right down the street. So thanks again for your time.
All right, sounds great. Take care, guys.
Bob Nightengale, USA Today. Oh, man. I got to tell you, him saying Burns is like a Schilling or a Johnson, that makes you feel good,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
I mean, everybody knows if you follow baseball how good this kid is or how this guy is. But for him to 200 innings and be that workhorse, man, that would be outstanding.
It's so good to have a guy that can get beyond the 5, 6, 7 innings, want the ball in the 7th inning.
Well, you could have made a case that Jordan Montgomery last year would have been that guy.
Sure.
And we may still be able to see that from him.
Well,
but he's a good pitcher.
Well, he might be the 6th guy. He might be a long reliever. Now, when you look at this lineup, they're not going to go 6-man rotation. They'll go 5. So he could be that spot star or the long inning reliever type guy. But yeah, I mean, a guy that goes on average wants to go 7 innings, would love to go 8 and wants the ball. That's very abnormal. But here's the thing. Strategically wise, as Torey Lovello allowed him to do that, hey, you got grade 7. Imagine him telling Torey, look, I'm going back out. Don't come out and get me because I want to finish or complete a game. I love that attitude. That's the kind of attitude you want.
Are you guys in favor of the APS?
I got to look at it a little more and see if I like it. I mean, we're sitting here and the game is on, and I'm keeping an eye on it.
They're not showing it.
And
they're not showing it.
They're
not showing it.
What do you mean?
So
they're not showing.
They're not showing like a. You know how they have the clock.
See.
They have the clock at the game.
Oh yeah, no, they're not doing that.
They're not showing you like in a corner.
Yeah.
Right.
The APS scan.
Right. Right. But the thing, that's why I asked Bob about how do the umpires feel, because they can't signal anymore. They don't signal strikes anymore.
Well, like right now.
Well, that's strike 3, so he did that. But on
foul
the first
tip.
2,
foul tip.
Yeah, on the first 2, when I was watching, his hand didn't go up at all for a strike.
That was weird.
But Bob mentions, it's for gambling.
Yes.
You think about us in football, we can bet every single play,
Good to toss.
every single down. It's the same thing.
That's interesting. He brings that gambling perspective.
Takes that to a whole nother level.
We've got it electronically monitored, folks, so you can't say the umpire's on the take.
Wow.
And your question about the umpires are like, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
We're here. It's our job. We'll do whatever, type of thing.
Hey, coming up, it's your chance to win some tickets. It's a listener appreciation ticket giveaway Thursday. We have ASU and BYU for next Wednesday. So if you want to win those, listen for the big voice guy here in just a bit as we're coming to you live from Twin Peaks in Glendale. It's Rock and Manuch with Jimmy B right here.